project along with?
Allison.
Let's give it up to Allison. Let me give Allison 10 years of the Performance Project. She's celebrating 10 years this year, 20 seasons of new, innovative, creative art. So let's give it up for her. Yeah, and then we also want to welcome our program assistant, Aliyah Hakeem, in the house. This organization, in addition to all the work we do with the arts here, provides important services, senior centers, senior housing, senior, food for seniors, early childhood education, housing advocacy, eviction prevention, mental health counseling. So it really is a full-service community organization. And Allison came in here 10 years ago to really shake up how the arts and how the University Settlement combine. We have three main strands, really four. One is our artists in residence, right, which are artists who kind of maybe further along in their careers, but really want to make work where community are central to the process. Then we have our fellowship program for emerging artists, which is who we're celebrating today. So let's give it up for all our fellows.
24 hours exploring gun culture with everyone from Karen Finley and Vernon Reed to our local young artists on the Lower East Side.
I think for me, a huge part of my life at the moment, to bring it all the way there, has been finding center and kind of reflecting on the community of you all, and your presence here in the settlement. I think about how much this cohort of fellows has strengthened my center and my circle of people in my life. So I think that's what it means for me to be part of the work here at the settlement and to work creatively is to build oneself.
In January, we'll be putting out the call for new artists in residence and new fellows. So, if there are artists who are interested in collaborating or working within this community, please keep that in mind. So follow us on social media to get that word, or we'll put out a sign-up sheet for an email list later. Let's start the show. Thank you.
Go tell on Rhodey, go tell on Rhodey, go tell on Rhodey that her old gray goose is dead. The one she's been saving, the one she's been saving, the one she's been saving to make her feather bed. She died in the mill pond, she died in the mill pond, she died in the mill pond, standing on her head. The goslings are crying, the goslings are crying, the goslings are crying because their mother's dead. Go tell on Rhodey, go tell on Rhodey, go tell on Rhodey, the old gray goose is dead.
Good evening. My name is Alex Dunn. Toney Brown has asked me to say the following words. Bye Bye Blue Blankie is a piece about saying goodbye to things on your own terms. In this case, something of great solace. I've had my blue blankie since day one. It's traveled the world, protected me from monsters, absorbed my tears, calmed my chaotic mind. It knows all my secrets. I slept with it every night until the day I moved to college. It was too old, too tattered, too delicate for that lifestyle. I opted to keep it safe and secure at home a few weeks ago. My mother dropped off my blanket at my apartment. She no longer wanted to deal with it. My mother and father downsized apartments. Spacious, precious. It was in that moment that I realized it's time to move on. This object that has meant so much to me must not suffer the fate of the garbage can, nor live out its days collecting dust. Therefore, I've decided to hold a funeral. My closest friends by my side. So, if you will please join in and pay your respects to the blanket. This is basically going to work like a wake. Please walk down from your seats, start at this end of the line, and make your way down, concluding at the blanket. You've been given cards if you'd like to fill them out, or if you already have, please do, and then drop them in the shoebox.
Yeah, come on. It's part of this show. It's okay. It's okay for you.
It's bad.
Wait, oh, you did it? Okay. Oh my gosh. It's okay if you don't feel that. But we do.
Thank you. Now it is at this time we would like to invite Tony's sister Casey to the podium to give the eulogy.
You were my first memory I ever gave my brother. When Toney was born, my parents brought me as a gift that I would give to him in the hospital. A useful, practical gift that psychologists said would make our relationship seem positive in my toddler mind. I gave you to my brother, and then my parents told me that Toney had a present for me. Oh shit, is the first thought I remember ever thinking. He's not even a day old, and he's better at life than I am. They handed me a doll, and I knew I was screwed. As my brother grew up, so did you. He took you everywhere, dragging you around the floors. He sucked his fingers, a spitting image of Linus with his security blanket. You were blue, and so was Linus's blanket. I think the #1 reason my brother kept you around until he went to college was because you gave him comfort, security. I used to ask Toney all the time, why do you still keep that thing around? It's not a blanket anymore, it's just one big hole. But for him, I think you represented his childhood. A hole in the fabric of adulthood that he would grasp for, but never again attain. He tried though. He held on to you until you basically disintegrated. It's weird to me that a piece of our childhood can turn into something shameful. You still sleep with your baby blanket, Toney? Fuck yeah, he might have said. I still sleep with it, don't you? But he's gotten to the point now where he doesn't need it to fall asleep, to walk around the house tangled in its tattered mess, surrounded by its blue familiarity. Thanks for being there for my brother, Blakey. I guess you're the most useful, beloved thing I've ever given. What the hell am I supposed to give him now?
that concludes our service. If you haven't filled out your card and would like to pay your respects, Blanky will be on display outside in the lobby. Thank you so much.
As she stares in the mirror, she sees more flaws. The stretch marks, the clothes that no longer fit, the jeans that are ripped at the seams, the love handles that love may never handle. Or so she thinks. As she stares into this mirror, she longs to out of her skin because living in a world of a thin, small, and skinny, a big girl does not belong. All the ads, commercials, and magazines of a beautiful, careless, flawless young girl with the look, the hair, the clothes, the shoes, sugarcoating every lie until you feel inadequate. Her days are filled with paranoia. Everyone watches. Everyone waits. Everyone comments. Everyone talks. Every now and then she hears, "Love yourself for a change." But how can she love herself when she was never taught to? How can she love herself when loving oneself is society's taboo? How can she love herself when her own mother made her feel like she is and will never be good enough? Being compared to almost everyone else, she loses her individuality, forced to admire that she already has, forced to claim all of her problems as nothing but trifles, that she's not okay, that she's not worth it. She's so young and yet so tired, but knowing her, a spark of optimism ignites the flame, the fire within. This girl knows that she can never let herself stand only to find herself sitting any longer. No, this girl will never let scars cover her past. She will hold them, cherish them. You see, the mirror lies, telling you what others want you to see, that you're not okay, that you're not worth it. So this girl in somber colors sits pretty on her castle, knowing that she is worth it, okay, and beautiful. Next part, I'm going to need you guys' help for this.
All right.
So there's a few lines. It's going to be a good time. So there's a few lines in here that go, apartments for the soul, commit to what you know. So can I hear commit to what you know?
Commit to what you know.
Apartments for the soul, commit to what you know. Apartments for the soul,
Commit to what you know.
You got some off, you got some off. Contrary to popular belief, I am not who anyone thinks I'm meant to be. It's crazy, but all the running around in circles trying to find a missing puzzle piece. I just don't know what to make of it. It can hard to know what life feels like, but at the moments that it's all to do, I am can't lie. Mama always said to sit up straight and clean my plates and wear my hair and look my space straight and not close my on my face. You guys don't know how good y'all got it. make good choices. All alone, raising the kids from a room of sorrows. I know it hit was gonna be by his side tomorrow. By his side tomorrow. You ready? A ball once for the soul.
It's what you know.
Okay. A ball once for the soul.
It's what you know.
Okay. A ball once for the soul.
Commit to what you know.
All the good running back to good times where the distance go. We used to wait till the world was quiet. We got at 2 a.m. on a little trip where our minds were quiet. See the type of it grows up the world, let the body go. With the tiny roads that are uncharted. Oh! Here they come, run back home quick fast to the beat of the drum. Be sure you don't get lost along the way. Be sure to stay close, you need to shoot far where you could not stay. Oh, and one more thing about I recall, you better not forget where you came from most of all. Cause everyone else is waiting for you. Get in the workout, looking as fly as you hoped you would. One more time, apartments for the self.
Commit to what you know.
Hey, apartments for the self.
Commit to what you know.
Apartments for the soul.
Commit to what you know.
On the fifth, running back to good times. Let's go. Thank you.
I was on the bus.
You never take the bus.
I think it was a grade, that's why. I saw someone on the bus and I can't remember when I saw them before. But I did. And I look up and there they are, face split.
Like half?
Well, because of the hole they're holding. So to me, it looks like their face is split in two. It's like I'm right there on the other side of the pole. Our eyes inches apart, our organs just inches apart. What's the first thing you notice when you see someone? Their gender? Or is it the confirmation or rejection of your attraction to said person?
I think for me it's race, but
Do you search for recognition first? What if there's ambiguity in the face, but the ambiguity was familiar? They meet me at eye level. Front-facing, backward, beautiful, silent, shared, staring. They search for my race or my gender first. Or are they into me? Is it in a good way? You know, we are each other in every style. On our faces, the gentle slope of the nose, the nonchalant almond of the eye, the pores, the bushy eyebrows. I wonder if they have the same experience as their face suggests.
I think I saw this movie.
It wasn't a movie.
What was it? In my dream, my hands make a gesture asking if they are half, too.
My dream too, and they say there are halves and halves.
What kind?
Japanese and Chinese, I would say, not
They say Korean and Filipino.
profile, silent.
And then there's silence.
Then suddenly, power, a rush of blood, and then pain. A rubber band stretched out for years snaps back against me, and I can't see the farther end. The I was and am is much smaller than I thought. The world, a bus, a fisheye lens. What? You forget about your last variable. Finish the equation. Am I attracted to them in the way they might see me? They laugh under their breath. They have a harsher nose, better skin, bushier eyebrows.
Do you feel like a different person?
It's not that time broke into with me. Best friends are miles ahead, getting married, and a minute already ahead of class. One of me, the one before this moment, wandering behind forever on canvas for lifetimes, contemplating a choice right now. Maybe in that moment I finally match the shadow fantasies with the forms of my best friends. To whom do you masturbate? Pleasure, shame, temperature, passivity, then matter, non-gender bodies, and imagination tied to physical.
I don't want to live life knowing I'm going to go to hell. I'll just kill myself.
No, that goes to hell too.
I could be a priest. Is this the calling from God?
I think, that's something else. Well, whatever. If I have to masturbate now, I'll just keep count. I'll make tablets, and when I go to hell, the devil can lash me for each one.
You're going to lose count. I don't feel guilt for anything that I do. I'm scared, but every birthday since when I blew out candles, instead of asking for world peace, I asked to be straight. But hell doesn't exist, so there are a lot of options, I guess. I'm so tired.
Should we become artists? Then I would write late. I would write late for my existence so hard I might miss my own funeral.
I could look at anyone on the street and think, I'll give up my body for you. Should I be a martyr? I would find my self-worth in the destruction of it. And I know I'm gonna have to train myself to to like them and taste of their stuff and to get used to it, like riding a bike or like learning to swim, which I still need to do, and liking beer and
I wake back up in a place in the person of halves on the bus, staring me down, unashamed. They hand me a metaphorical closet and take my God. But now I have a choice, which I will get back to you on. I will keep thinking on it all the way, although, all the way through Auntie Janice's funeral, to which I would feel nothing. But I would feel bad about feeling nothing, which is something? Yes.
Was it me? Were we each other's person on the bus for each other in the dream? The secret to a comet is atop its head, an indentation filled with water that gives it the strength of 1,000 men. Bow to it. It bows back to you, filling up its water, rendering it powerless and saving you from certain danger. Do you believe in it?
The comet? No.
No, the curse.
Not really. That's giving it too much credit. Besides, if it's Japanese, why did it get Oji-chan? If it could just hop sides, why not hop and knock out some of the racist people on that side?
If I was to seppuku myself, would you be the one to cut my head off after, kaishakunin, so my head falls off and rests in my hands?
Right, I take that as a compliment, but only if you would do the same.
Yeah. We got him spayed.
Neutered.
Roll over, Barker.
Oh.
See?
That's just inhumane. Ew.
Well, I mean, he's a dog. It's not inhumane.
He's our pet. He's here to serve us. How would you feel if someone locked you in a house and then put a collar on you and then cut your hair and then fed you one type of food and then hit you when you were bad? And remember when Mom accidentally cut his tongue like 3 times while cutting his hair?
Hair. He has hair. He's hypoallergenic.
And then you tripped on him and broke his leg, and how his hair covered his eyes when he was little, so now he's blind in the left one. and it's kind of that cute, disgusting, crooked chameleon eye, and you can't hear very well. And
This kind of sounds like a Bachan.
she seems happy here.
She stares into space. And she only talks to Barker in the backyard.
Well, at least he has a sense of purpose besides entertaining us.
Especially now that he's so old. He has so many gray hairs.
He reminds me of you. He reminds Mom of you. When Mom talks about you, she calls you Barker by accident.
Dad misgendered you. He thinks you look like Oji-chan.
Wanna go to Petco?
Sure.
Now I don't gotta do it. So, I'm gonna play 3 songs, and I'm writing more. I'm gonna write a bunch, and then we'll see what happens, you know. But this first song, sort of, I think will kind of explain why. Mama said she thinks that Ronald Reagan is the devil, and it's not even because he got funding from the NEA. Mama said that when Ronald Reagan died, she rebelled. If I knew what I know now, then I probably would have done the same. It's 2004 when Ronald Reagan died. I was only 13. Ronald Reagan wanted to cut funding from more studies, even though he was an actor just the same. And that's not even why Mama says that he's the devil and never made America great. Ronald Reagan's campaign slogan was "Make America Great Again." You might not know that. See, some of Mama's cousins were fighting for their freedom against people who Ronald Reagan paid. With money from the sale of weapons, some folks said they needed, even though it was congressionally forbade. I hate that the Iran-Contra affair is referred to as an affair. That just sounds like a fundraising event. And some of Mama's folks still live in Nicaragua, but she grew up in the USA. And later had a son who grew up to be an artist and really was very rarely paid, because Ronald Reagan cut the NEA budget in half. Ronald Reagan sold weapons to Iran, even though Congress said that he ought not have. But he took the money that the weapons made and gave it to the Contra in Nicaragua, which overthrew the forces, which included my fam, because he thought that communism was a problem. And Republicans say that he was a great man, but I'd rather listen to my mama. Yeah, I'd rather listen to my mama. Yeah, I'd rather listen to my mama. There are 2 notes that I can't hit in these 3 songs, and that was the first one. My younger brother's here, so he knows. And also, Ronald Reagan died 3 days before your birthday. Fun fact. So, something I hear a lot is people say like, "Oh, we have to listen to the other side," you know? And I don't know if I believe that, because I feel like I have a sense of what they're going to say. But I want to give you the chance. So this is a song that's actually by Ronald Reagan. I'll swallow this whole country, swallow this whole world. Ball in my belly's gonna build me a pearl. Swallow this whole country, I'll swallow this whole world. Cause the ball in my belly's gonna build me a pearl. I'm a movie star, Mr. TV screen. I'm a goddamn, I was born to be
the pile in my belly's gonna build me a pearl. I can't hear you screaming from up here. 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 Swallow this whole world, cause the bile in my belly's gonna build me a pearl. I'll swallow this whole country, I'll swallow this whole world, cause the bile in my belly's gonna build me a pearl. Now you got to hear sort of like, you know, a voice from either side. And so this last song is about choices, and it's also about like early in his presidency, someone tried to kill Ronald Reagan, and after that he started polling like way higher than he ever had. And I'm not saying that it was like a, you know, like a conspiracy theory or whatever. But this is about making choices and about killing the president. I saw a food cart on fire between Columbus Circle and Lincoln Square Plaza on the same day that in Times Square a large swarm of bees took over the awning of a stand that sold hot dogs. And I rooted for the bees, but not the fire, because the bees deserve a win when nobody has to lose. Nobody has to lose, lose, lose. Nobody has to lose. I never buy pre-sweetened yogurt. I buy the kind that's all sour and runny. But then when I eat it for breakfast, I first sweeten it up with peanut butter and honey, to the point that it's probably just as unhealthy as the vanilla-flavored yogurt that I wanted in the first place, but it's never the one that I choose. It's never the one that I choose. Choose, choose. Never the one that I choose. Some days I wonder if I killed a man who I knew someday would go on to kill millions. Would the people who found out somehow understand? As if the saving makes up for the killing. And I try not to hope that somebody else will do all the killing that I might not believe in, but which might be the right thing to do. It might be the right thing to do. It might be the right thing to do. So many choices to make in a life. Yogurt and food carts and saving by killing. So you do what you can, yeah, you do what is right. And if you can't do that, you do what you're willing. And you hope that somebody else will forgive you, or at least tell you that you are a good person, but you'll never find out if it's true. You'll never find out if it's true, true, true. So you gotta do what you wanna do the right thing to do. Sometimes someone's gotta lose. It's never a choice not to choose, choose, choose. Thank you.
When the PC police are gonna come around and claim this song is homophobic and try to get it banned. When a male is in fight mode or wants to show his dominance, he will flare. The male opens his gills and his beard is exposed, making him look larger and more threatening to others. Males tend to be more aggressive than females. I was a fighter, silent as they come, shiny thing cornered in a glass bowl, always the observer, perched unwittingly on our beaten piano in slack water. The rolling keys sent tremors neither I nor the water would dare acknowledge. Their name was Blue, like bruise, like brazen, like bound to say something wrong. All this familiar, damned in a cask. I was the enemy most days. A clenched fist on a doorknob, the stomping in response to the nothing and everything that inflamed your earlobes. Another hole in the wall, another precious, broken thing. I ignored it, overfed it. When you moved into my bedroom, I knew I had to kill it, that wanting to know. Their careful, bulging eyes hung from my neck like a guillotine or a witness. For the last time, I was calculated. As I waited for that final luxury of fearlessness, which comes only in waves, while the silence suffocates, I settled on a recipe for a slow death. Tank full of boiling water. Sparkling castle tightly wound around the body. Forgiveness, coarsely blended. Zest of mud, blood, beer, and boy things to taste. Despite this, you persisted. Labyrinth organ poised to prove me wrong. You sacrificial lamb, you maze of bones, your bloated stomach made it float. Mocked me for a week as I prayed Mom wouldn't find out. I'm the killer you raised me to be. Fish out of water. When we sent it down the toilet, a piece of my tongue left with you.
Hi, I just want to say before I start, this is like a complete blessing to do this. I want to thank like my art family and my mom's here, she's sitting over there, and my best friend's here. So, and I turned 20 today, so this is like. Like the best way to celebrate, you know. But yeah, I don't want to get all intimate and stuff. Don't get it. I'm a tell them how I'm living now. And I was stepping in the kitchen, sweating it so potent, it's on the mission now. Oh, can you feel it now? Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, can you feel it now? I've always wanted it a bit into eyes. It gets corrupted and twisted by the eyes. I learned that that's just a man-made disguise, confusing the mind and misleading the eyes. But oh, that's the regular. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, that's the regular. Yeah, that's the regular. Been trying to get it out of my head. But I'm just gonna lose myself instead. regular. Trying to brush it off, still deciding what's terrible. My intuition's low. It hurts to be confused, but that's the beauty that I'm living for. Oh, nobody about having it together. If you don't know what the pieces are. But that's irregular. I'm trying to get my mind together. Got so comfy in this mess, it's my guilty pleasure. Talk with the man when you belong together. It's only everyone that love you gotta get each other. If that's the case, is love real? Sometimes I hardly hear myself caught in a standstill. World spinning too fast, gotta stand still. Everything I do feels like I'm signing a damn deal. That is real. That is real. But I'ma get it. Thank you.
Going to be a dance party right here, and you're all invited to join us in the dance party. And what you're going to do is, Raka is going to play some tunes, and if you are sitting, like maybe if you're sitting in the middle, what you're going to do is maybe just like you want to decide like if you're gonna keep your stuff with you, because maybe like you're a backpack kind of dancer, or maybe like you wanna, because what you're gonna do is like maybe decide if you want to keep your stuff at a chair, or maybe because what you're gonna do is decide like maybe, because if you wanna like keep your stuff somewhere safe, maybe you leave it there, so you can, because what you're gonna do is maybe you're gonna take a few steps to the steps and then you're gonna walk down. So if you're, what you're gonna do if you're in the second row is you're gonna walk to the aisle, and then you have 2 steps down, and then one row you come back around, and then if you're on the other.
Remember what Kara was saying? car, he's very on.